Welcome to part 2 of my backgrounds tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can do what I'm doing here, which is basically having the same background repeat itself over and over again. And basically, it'll just keep doing this for as long as you make the clip uh, long for. So in this case here, this clip is about 1 minute and 20 to 20 seconds. And it's going to keep repeating the whole time. And one thing that's cool about this is, for instance, here the character is walking. She's not really moving, but the background is moving, which makes her look like she is moving. And it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to show you how I did this. Let's delete this. We'll go back here to the beginning. And you're doing this using only Create Studio features and Create Studio graphics. So first thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need to make the ground. So I'm going to throw in a rectangle. And we're going to make the rectangle green. Now we need some trees. So we're going to bring in some trees. And we scroll through here, and we should be able to find the trees that I used. We can use any trees, basically. So actually, I'm going to take this one. I haven't used this one before, so we'll put this one in here. Like so. And I want to make the sky blue, so we're going to bring in another rectangle. And we're going to put that one in behind the other two. Just like that. And we're going to drag this out to, let's say 1 minute, right here. And we're going to make this the full size. And it's tucked in behind the grass. And we're going to put in a cloud. So let's get some clouds. And we'll drag this one on here. It's right there. And it's same color as the background. That's why we can't see it. So let's do this. And we'll make it a little bit smaller, put it way off in the distance. And I think that's all we need. So let me show you now how this works. So I'm going to group everything together the same way that I did before in the other video by using Control G. And now that that's done, here comes the magic. We're going to go into Properties and we're going to use the tiles. And so what's going to happen is that this scene now is going to repeat itself over and over again. So all we have to do is we're going to add an animation to it. So I'm going to do a position again. And easing, I'm going to put it as linear. And the only difference between this one now is that, okay, this one here, for instance, we're going to lock it in here. But now I'm going to shrink this down, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to grab this. I'm just going to drag it over like this. And you can see how it's repeating itself already. And we're going to do a little bit of adjustment once we're done, but for the most part, that's how it's going to work. So I'm going to bring it over this way a little bit. Now we need to adjust the tiles so that we don't end up with these black areas here. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go back to Properties and we're going to go over to Tiles. And the only thing we're going to do is this. See, just by reducing it down, we got rid of that area that was black. And now this will just repeat for as long as we want. If I wanted to make this, 1 minute and 45 seconds, I could do this, and I just have to go inside here and drag the graphics out so they go past the end of the area that we've already established. Let's go back. And there you have it. So now what it's going to do is it's going to keep repeating. And you can put anything you want here in this scene. You can put some flowers, you can add more clouds. I'm going to stop right there, and all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a character in. So let's go back here. And we're going to go with one of the Pixar characters, and I'm going to use Lenka. Drag her on here. And we're going to put Lenka. We're going to make her walk. Like so. And I'm going to disable the start and the end. And I'm just going to flip her around the other way so she looks like she's walking correctly. And we're going to make her a little bit smaller too, so she's not as big as the tree. And we can put her anywhere here on the scene. We'll drag this out so it matches the timeline of the backgrounds. And when we hit play, you can see now that Lenka's walking. Even though she's not going anywhere, because the background is moving, it makes it look like she's moving. And it's as easy as that. Now you can do the same thing with other backgrounds as well. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to delete it all. And I'm going to go back and use one of the backgrounds that we used in the previous video, which was the one that had the trees, if I can find it. Let's see. Trees. And let's see if we can find that same background that we used in the other video. Okay, well, I don't see that one, but we're going to take a different one here. We'll put this one here, the park. We can do the same thing with any video, or with any image, I should say. So all we're going to do is we're going to bring this in here. And you can see it is a group. So we're going to go in here. We're going to stretch out the time here. Go back to the main timeline. And we're going to go to the properties for this again. Going to go back to tiles. And we're going to tile it. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to add an animation. And it's important that you put everything that's going to move inside the group so that everything moves together. So we're going to make this linear. Going to go to properties, do position. Take this keyframe all the way to the end here. And I'm just going to shrink this down so it's easier to see. Now for this one here, I'm going to grab it. I press the shift key to keep it in line. And we're going to pull it all the way here to the left like this. And now when we hit play, you'll see that the park it's going to keep repeating for as long as we have it on the timeline here. It's going to keep repeating the same background over and over again. So what you could do is you could use the same technique that we did before. If you take the backgrounds and you duplicate it and flip it so it becomes a mirror image, you can then put those two together and do the same exact thing. Tile it, put your animation in, and then the original plus a duplicate will scroll the same exact way. And that's all there is to it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends so that everyone can benefit from this technique.